Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys another reading. So today's topic is what's their karma for betraying you? So this is the setup. This is going to be about a romantic connection from your past that you've experienced with another person where there was betrayal on their part. And we're going to dive deep into everything today. We're going to do some of this reading here and then the rest over on the extended reading channel. So at the end of the day, you just want to take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. All the decks I'll be using here today will be listed in the description box down below, as well as this Crypt Keeper Organite created by my friend Michelle from Bells, Wing and Bell. So let's dive right into these messages, if I can even say it. So what we're going to look at first is what is the past story of betrayal that went down with your person, okay? So what was the story of everything that went down? Some details may hit, others may not. So like I said, just take what does and get rid of what doesn't. All right, let's see what the energy here is. Okay. What I'm getting here, you guys, is that when it comes to your past story of betrayal, you already knew something, okay? You felt it. You felt it in your gut. Maybe you're an intuitive person. You just picked up on something. You know, you felt a sudden shift, something that just seemed off, and maybe you didn't really investigate it. Maybe some of you guys actually asked this person, hey, is there something up? Is there something wrong? But I feel like you already knew something before your person said something to you, if they said anything at all. We have hiding exes. Interesting. So it may be that there was somebody from your person's past, okay? They were kind of hiding, maybe that they were still communicating with somebody from their past, but there was definitely some sort of betrayal when it came to hiding an issue, like an ex, a person from their past. And you already knew something. And it could be that you knew about this communication, you weren't happy about it, so maybe you talked to your person about it and they said, oh, we're not speaking, or oh yeah, I'll cut them off, and then they just ended up hiding it instead. We have high hopes. So to me, it's like maybe you had high hopes that this would change, but obviously some sort of betrayal tore the two of you apart. So that didn't obviously, come to be. But I feel like this person may have had high hopes when they got together with you. They may have actually put their best foot forward. Maybe they were just coming out of a toxic relationship or a situation with their ex. And so when they did come together with you, they really were trying to start a new life with you. They were trying to start fresh with you. But unfortunately, this energy may have just crept. I don't know why I can't talk back in. So they had high hopes that maybe this would dissolve. Maybe they would forget about this person. Maybe it would go away. But I feel like obviously with time, it just kind of came back in, snuck back in, I guess. We have caught cheating. Now, some of you guys could have caught this person. So there's third party energy here. Definitely. Third party energy here. And it's just like you caught them. Either you caught them through a message, or you just caught them actually in real time, or you caught them in some sort of a lie. For some of you guys, this third party could have even contacted you. Yeah, we have bullshit detected. So it's like you knew. You may have actually confronted this individual and they just basically gave you a line of BS. It's like you knew. Actually, you already knew. For some of you guys, before you had this conversation with this person, you already knew the facts because you already saw some evidence. So you already knew they were full of shit before you went into this conversation. They're not purposely trying to hurt you. And I'm glad that this came up because I really don't feel like this individual set out to do this to you. I mean, they did end up doing this and hurting you and making these decisions to be sneaky and deceptive, of course. But I actually feel like when they first got together with you, they did not intend to pull a third party, and they didn't intend to maybe dabble with an ex, or that was just like not even on their radar. What they were focused on was just you in the very beginning. And that's just really what I feel like, this high hopes energy. They actually had high hopes that they could move forward with you and be with you and that things would be really awesome. But I'm just seeing here that something happened and that's not the case. That's not what, continued, unfortunately. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more messages here. with what went down with your person. It's a very big chunk of decks. I love to combine Fire Witch Tarot decks here, and that's what we're doing today. All right, so let's put this aside. What else? What else went down in this past story with this person? Okay, we have make-believe. So I kind of feel with this card, there's a couple of different messages coming through. The first one is that when you first met this person, it's like it felt unreal. It felt very magical, and I'm getting it felt that way for them too, which is why this individual had such high hopes in the beginning, okay? But obviously something shifted, something changed. Whenever I see a skeleton, I always think of bones, and I think of like stripped down skeletons in the closet being totally stripped down, authentic, truthful, honest, like you're bearing your soul. And I just feel like when it came down to it, this person couldn't admit something to you. They couldn't admit something to you because they had a lot of skeletons in their closet. They had a lot of fear. They were fearing being judged, or they were being feared being caught or looked at a certain way. So maybe they tried to make you believe something that wasn't true because the truth would be devastating to you. So I know it sounds really ridiculous, like they were trying to spare your feelings, but I actually feel like this person really did try to do that. It wasn't like they were trying to deliberately get away with this to go, ha ha, I'm playing you and this other person. I'm not really getting that vibe from this individual. I mean, you know, maybe it was there at some level, but I just feel like the majority of this person's energy is that they were really trying to avoid some sort of a disaster, or they were trying to kind of maybe convince themselves that this was the right thing to do, was to hide it. Maybe they thought they would get it under control, maybe deal with something and then just be done with it. But I feel like it caught up with them. That's what I'm seeing here. Like they could not avert this crisis. Yeah, we have the Four of Wands here. I feel like the Four of Wands is an already established situation. There was already a foundation built with someone else. And so when this person came back into the picture, it really had an effect on this individual. It's like it was a crisis for them. And I feel like they may have tried to avert it, but they couldn't. So the Four of Wands, I feel, just kind of busted up your entire foundation, everything that you were trying to build with this person. Also, the Four of Wands can be foundational energies from childhood or just upbringing and things like that. So it may be that this person really believed at the time when they first met you that like you were the one, and then something just started to fall apart. They couldn't keep it together for whatever reason. So let's continue. Yep. It's just kind of running. So instead of dealing with the crisis, I just feel like it was easier for this individual to just run away, right? They may have dealt with it for a little bit, but then in the end, they just may have run away and just tried to avoid even dealing with you or talking to you or just dealing with this in general. So a real like runner here, or like somebody who's trying to avoid the situation instead of dealing with it. They have a hard time dealing with the conflict is what it is. I feel like this person is kind of conflict avoidant. They don't want to deal with a conflict. So what they do is they end up hurting people because they end up lying. And I don't feel like that's really where this person is coming from, to wanting to deceive or hurt people. But I feel like that's ultimately what they end up doing, because they don't want to deal with the crisis. They don't want to deal with the conflict. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Just easier to shut the door. That's what I'm getting here. But I do feel like this individual is kind of bankrupt, like spiritually bankrupt when it comes to their emotions, like emotionally bankrupt. There's some emptiness inside them. So this emptiness, I feel like this individual is maybe always trying to fill it up with people. And that only lasts for so long. And so that might be why they kind of dabble in several things at once, because they're trying to fulfill their needs, you know, in a bunch of different areas. Not one person may have been able to do it for this individual. And that's because they're lacking something deeply within themselves. So I feel like this individual just has a lack of self-awareness, and they don't exactly know. So I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing, but I feel like they don't know why they do what they do. So they just kind of keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result. So it's literally like an insanity type of situation, you know, where it's kind of like it's just unbelievable. Because that's what I'm getting here. Dealing with this person, you may have had other words to describe them, but you may have said unbelievable about this situation. That's what I'm saying here. All right, let's see what else. We have clown, don't take serious. So I feel like this individual, again, at the end of the day, it's kind of like they just acted like a clown. They ended up looking like a clown, I feel, in your eyes. You may have just looked at them and saw something in the beginning only to see them as a clown, like a foolish person, a real child later on. It's just like they just ended up looking like a freaking clown. And I also feel like this person didn't want to look bad in your eyes, so they may have tried to kind of clean up things to make it look or appear a certain way, so you didn't see them in a very unfavorable light. So even though you may have later saw them as a clown anyways, they may have tried desperately to make it look like they weren't trying to play you or hurt you, or just, just like somebody that you just never really knew. It just really bothers this person, the way they look. That's what I'm picking up on. The way that they look is very important to them. Their image is very important to them. It's a big deal. They care about what people think about them. Let's see what else. The star, yeah. To me, it's like a movie star, right? It's like, a movie star has a certain appearance. They have to appear a certain way. It's all about the business and the glamour. And, you're not going to be in awe of somebody who's human. They have to have this star-like quality, so they have to look a certain way and act a certain way. And as soon as people just kind of humanize themselves, or they make mistakes, or they fuck up or whatever, then suddenly it's like, they drop from the stars and they're just, normal everyday folk. And that's not going to be for everybody, but some people do that. It's an unfortunate thing. And so I feel like they did not want to fall from grace. They ended up falling from grace anyways, I feel. But at the time, it's like they were kind of trying to keep up this facade or this image that they weren't doing something, because they didn't want you to either hate them or fall out of favor with them or see them in an unfavorable light. Yeah. I also feel like this person may have been kind of like, had some star quality. So like really good looking. They had some sort of charismatic energy, and so other people were really drawn to this individual, so it made them very attractive, and people wanted to deal with them or see them or be with them, and so they had a lot of options is what I'm seeing, and maybe they just couldn't say no for whatever reason. Yeah. All right, let's see what else. We have depression. Okay, so what I'm getting here too, this person may have had, or have had some sort of mood disorder or something that you didn't know about. There was something going on deep within themselves, like a puzzle piece or several puzzle pieces were missing for this individual. And I feel like they were still trying to kind of find themselves during the time when you were dealing with them. And so, of course, it makes someone kind of unpredictable. If you're not solid with who you are and you're kind of still dealing with that healing journey, then you're going to be up and down. And I just feel like this person may have been really happy in the beginning with you, only to withdraw and become distant and moody later. And that's why I feel like they were trying to use other people to fulfill their happiness, even including you. Yeah, Four of Cups. See, at the end of the day, this Four of Cups energy, it's like until you can fill your own cup, everything in front of you, you're going to lose interest in. So this person gets very bored. When they get bored, they move on to the next thing. So we're going very deep into this person's psyche, who they are, what makes them up. It's more than what meets the eye. So instead of like, this person did this and this person did that, it's like we're really getting a deep look into just their characteristics and maybe why they do what they do. So they just lose interest very quickly. So I feel like in the beginning it was like, wow, amazing. And then it turned to shit perhaps rather quickly. All right, let's see what else. Look at that. An X returns. So Spirit is trying to tell us that there is somebody from their past. It could be even like feelings, unresolved feelings, traumas, or issues from the past that really created a problem for you and this person. Now, the X may not have actually physically returned, so that is not going to apply for everybody, but it's still third party, as in there's something in the way. There's a person, there's an attachment, there's a trauma, there's an issue that is still creating a problem in their present, and that created a problem in their present with you. So that's what we're seeing here. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. This is Pisces energy. I think we also had Aquarius energy too. So there may have been something that actually you had a falling out with this person during that season. So we're talking maybe January, February, March, somewhere around there, when you may have had some kind of issue with this individual. But the Knight of Cups is definitely somebody who's like a dreamer. They're very like they're in love with love. And whenever that feeling kind of dies down, then it's like, I guess I'm moving on to the next adventure. And that's just what I feel. I feel like this person might even be a love addict. A love addict, for sure. Doesn't mean they are, but I'm just feeling that energy. And there's that third party situation. So again, it might have just been in their heart or in their mind, or this was physically something that was actually taking place and creating a problem and a challenging situation in your connection. So that seems to be the details surrounding what went down with your person. And maybe a little bit as to why. So now let's take a look and see from a psychological perspective what caused them to act in such a hurtful way towards you. Obviously, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but we're just going to take a look at some of those characteristics that this person may have been just kind of battling at that time when they were dealing with you, okay? Let's look at this energy. We have trigger. So there may have been something, not that you did something, but dealing with you, spending time with you. Whenever we do this with individuals, whether we're feeling good or whatever, it's like something might be triggered. It might be triggered. So this individual was triggered at some point when dealing with your situation, and it triggered some sort of reaction in them. So let's see what that's about. We have the prisoner. Ooh, it's so funny. The prisoner set me free. And it's funny because I feel like that came in the other day through the reading that I did, Who Feels Bound to You. And I wanted to use that song, but it wasn't available. It wasn't available on Instagram when I posted it, the reading. Anyways, it says, chained to a loveless relationship. So they're afraid. This person is afraid to be stuck. They're afraid to be in something long term. And the reason why is because they know that they're going to lose interest, because they always do. So why this person is the way that they are, I mean, there could be many, many reasons, but I feel like they're avoidant. This individual is an avoidant, and this individual doesn't want to feel tied down, doesn't want to feel trapped. So anytime they start to kind of feel, somebody kind of closing in on them, like you're getting too attached to them, you're expecting something from them, running away is what this person does. They run away from it. It may trigger behavior within them to sabotage this connection, or feel like this isn't the right thing for them and they need to go off and figure out what is the best thing for them. With a people pleaser, that's the thing. At the end of the day, this person doesn't want to actually hurt people, but that's what they do. They inadvertently end up hurting everyone. Anyone who comes into their life, or I should say, they come into someone's life, they're in a romantic way, they're probably going to hurt that person. So your individual actually, I feel, has some sort of a battle within their own selves, within their own demons. And I feel like sometimes this person might stay single deliberately because they know that they're fucked up, and they know that they're toxic. But then there's other times where they really want to feel that high and feel that connection. So they'll go in thinking that maybe this time will be different, but it never is. It never is. So they really do want to try to do better the next time. They really had high hopes even with you, but at the end of the day, they couldn't change. This is just who they are. And they may not be this person anymore, but we're looking at the behavior that caused them to be so hurtful towards you. That's the point. All right, what else is coming through? We have stress. So of course, when you're stressed, when you feel like the noose is closing in on you and you're just going to be suffocated or whatever, it does feel like you want to bolt. There's anxiety. So your individual definitely has a lot of anxiety surrounding being trapped, feeling like they're not going to be able to live their lives the way they want to live it, that they're going to get bored, or it's just going to be redundant and just like, it's like the death. So they might see relationships or commitment as like the death. We have judgmental. And this person, I feel, they may praise you and others when you guys first get together and, tell you everything that's wonderful about you and amazing about you. And then they try to talk themselves out of you. They start judging nitpicking little things about you to try to talk themselves out of, spending any more time with you or being with you. This is the way that the avoidant operates. Okay. So we're not making any of this okay. It's just we're bringing awareness to what this person, may do, basically. So let's continue. Overeager. Okay. So to me, this is funny. Your person doesn't want to appear overeager. And it's funny because what's at the base of an avoidant, or let's just say even a narcissistic person, is insecurity. Okay. It's that I need to feel love. I want to feel loved. I'm extremely insecure. But for different reasons, let's just say with the avoidant, it's like once they get it, then it's just too much. They just can't handle that feeling. I mean, there's many, many layers. I'm just touching like the tip, or chipping the tip of that iceberg. So much. But they don't want to appear needy. So I just feel like this is a defense mechanism within them to have people be needy for them and to attach themselves to them, so that way they can detach easily and convince themselves that they just don't care or that you're wrong for them, and then they can detach and then move on to the next situation. It's a very vicious cycle. But I feel like that's a closet door. Your person has a lot of skeletons in their closet. There's a lot of things from their past that maybe you don't even know about, is what I'm getting here. On the bottom of the deck, I have self-destruct. So this person is really creating all of the chaos in their life. They're a time bomb. It's funny. There's a song, I don't know who's singing it, but Time Bomb. I don't know. It's like a reggae. I think it might be like in the stick figure genre band. I don't know if they sing it, but yeah, she's a time bomb. But yeah, anyways, so that's what we have with that. Let's see what else. I feel like in the beginning, this person's really overeager to please you, and then they pull back and they're just like, yeah, talking themselves out of it. We have boundaries. So this person, I feel, puts up this major wall. So it's like boundaries are healthy. You have a conversation with someone, you kind of talk about things, but this person does not know how to just have, boundaries. They have to put up a freaking wall. And I feel like that wall, all that does is it just creates isolation. And that's the point. That's what this person needs in order to feel safe. We have inebriated. This person may have some sort of a dependency on something. Whatever it is, it could be anything. I'm not even going to go through the list. Just think about it. And they may use this as an escape. So they're trying to escape the way that they feel, okay? Because they can't deal. So I feel like this individual gets quite depressed, and we did get the depressed energy, and quite sad. But you may not even suspect that with this person because they hide it well. We have an elitist, and so this is interesting to me. Again, this person, how they look and how they appear in society is very important to them. They want to they want to be looked at a certain way. They may have some sort of a goal where they want to be a star, rise to the top. They may need their life to look a certain way. So if they feel like they found that in you, and then all of a sudden you say one thing, then they might say, okay, well, that's not going to work. So it's like next. Then they're going to look for the next person that's going to check all those boxes. But what I'm getting for this person is that it's sad because no one is going to check all of this person's boxes. So this is going to be a constant hell for this individual. And at the end of the day, what I'm getting here is if they do reach the top, they're going to be there alone. That's it. And I don't feel like that's really what this person wants, but they try to convince themselves that that's what they want. Yeah. So real big time issues with this individual. I mean, who doesn't have issues, but they got a lot of crap that they, either need to work on or that they needed to work on when you were dealing with them. So they may have made you feel like you weren't what they wanted, less than, etc. But really, this person just has a lot of demons going on inside. So what immediate karma came calling for your person shortly after your separation? Let's look at this energy, okay? What karma came calling for this person shortly after your separation? Okay, so after they separated themselves from you, what did they start to experience? Okay, happiness hater. So this is, again, convincing themselves that they don't need relationships, marriage, forget about it, it's not for me, I'm never going to settle down, whatever. So this is a story that they tell themselves that, they're just going to be single, they're going to thrive, they're just going to do what they want to do, they're going to be free. Again, relationships are death, is what this person says. Getting terminal bachelor vibes here. I don't need anyone. I don't need that. But we do have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups to me is a card of a few things, but for this person, this is keeping it light. This is keeping the energy light. It's like third party all the way, but it's just like a good time. It's not the Two of Cups. It's the Three of Cups. So it's just like you're having fun, maybe a little too much fun sometimes, and you see your friends or even family members that are moving on and connecting and building lives, and you're just kind of convincing yourself, well, I don't need that, it's not for me. But deep down inside, I feel like this individual is really suffering. So they can pretend all day long that they don't give a shit or that they don't need it, but I feel like deep down they really want it. They do, they really want it. We have overload. So I feel like the karma that this person experienced right after you is that they felt very overwhelmed, like they had too much going on, and so they had to start cutting things out. And unfortunately, you were one of those things. So I feel like they cut a lot of things out of their life at once, and you were just a part of that purge for them. Yep, and they just kind of traveled on, is what I'm getting here. Off to their next conquest. They may have actually physically moved away from you. They may have did a lot of traveling afterwards, is what I'm seeing. But whatever they were trying to run away from, you guys, it did follow them. So you know how that's saying, you take your problems with you. This person's issues and everything that they had going on that maybe they didn't deal with you came back. It did catch up with them, is what I'm seeing here. We have bewitched, and so I feel like they were not able to completely forget about you. They felt maybe after you guys had separated for a while, and maybe they created distance, or maybe you did, I feel like eventually they started thinking about you again in a favorable way. So that's how the avoidant works. After they take that space and you're no longer chasing, you're no longer in the picture, you just kind of disappear, then they come back to that feeling because they're no longer overwhelmed with maybe you chasing them or wanting something from them. They wonder what happened to you. They wonder where you're at. So I do feel like this person started to wonder where you were and maybe even missed you a little bit. Yeah, magician, abracadabra. So I don't know who sings the abracadabra, I want to reach out and grab you. That's what I'm getting here. It's like, I want to reach out. So I feel like this person, with however they ended things with you, it kind of sucked because it wasn't the greatest and you felt betrayed by this person. So I feel like a part of their karma is that they wanted to reach out to you, but they couldn't because you were pissed. Maybe you blocked them. You made it evidently clear to them that you never wanted to hear from them again. And so they kind of felt like, wow, like I wish I could just reach out to you, but I can't. So I feel like that was a little bit of karma for them. So, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Oh, we have nosy fucks gossiping. Okay. So I feel like the fact that she's got her laptop open, I do feel like this person being nosy wanted to see what you were up to. So they started to try to find information about you online. So it was a part of their karma to still kind of like be interested in you, thinking about you. They didn't completely, cut you out and never think about you again. Yeah, they were kind of wondering, like, did you end up with someone? Did you move on? Did you get married? Are you in a relationship? Are you happy? They wanted to know. So they were just actually nosy and they wanted to see what was going on with you. And I feel like if some of you guys did either get into another relationship or whatever you were posting online, if you were online, this person saw that you were doing really well. And I feel like it probably gut punched them because they realized, wow, you've moved on. So that was a part of their karma. Yeah. And we have that trash energy here. Like they just threw this away. I feel like they started feeling like they threw it away prematurely. They should have maybe should have just handled things differently or just had more clarity. I don't know. There's something where they have that, because we have the Queen of Wands, which means that they're still mesmerized by you. They're still bewitched by you. They're still attracted to you. So that didn't go anywhere, you guys. So even if they needed a break from you, I feel like there was something that happened that created a permanent break so they couldn't come back. And it might have been by your hand. Like you were just like, F you, don't ever speak to me again. So it's like they listened to that and they didn't come back. But they started feeling like maybe you just kind of threw them out and never looked back. So I just feel like that was a boss move on your part, because you're looking good. You're the Queen of Wands in their eyes. They still find you attractive. They still want you. They still desire you in that way. Wow, very interesting. All right, let's see what else. Trail of evidence. Ooh, okay. Part of their karma, you guys, is that there's no way that they could convince you otherwise that they didn't totally screw you over. Like, you know, and they know you know. So they may have ditched the scene and then you found something out later and you never spoke to them again. So they never really had to have that conversation with you, but they know you know. And so it's a part of their karma just knowing that you know that they're a piece of shit. That they screwed you over. That's their karma. They have to. So remember how they were trying to avoid that the whole time? They're part of their karma is that they know that you finally found out about them. Yeah. And it's something that really bothered them with that Eight of Swords energy. In a way, it's kind of like it enslaved their mind. It kind of took over and really created a lot of anxiety. They couldn't get you out of their head for a while. And I feel like they thought about this over and over. They ruminated on this of how they wish they could have done things differently. So I feel like that was a stress for this person. And that was a part of their immediate karma after you guys, ended things. And that's just kind of how they started feeling shortly after. So that's what we have for kind of their like short-term immediate karma. But what we're going to do now is we're going to shift over onto the extended, and this is what we're going to go to in over there. What specific karma that was directly related to you impacted this person the most? We're going to get into that heavy-duty karma. Then in hindsight, how does your person wish they would have handled your situation? Also, what your person needs you to hear from their heart and soul right now, and what is the current likelihood that they will ever return and apologize for the behavior someday. So if you guys are interested in joining me over there, I'll put the link for that extended video in the description box down below, as well as pin it to the top comment. And thank you guys so much for choosing to be here. If you'd like to support my channel, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment in the comment section. All those things help the channel to stay, afloat and grow. So I really appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully I'll see you guys over on the extended. Thanks so much. You guys take care. Bye-bye.